Yo guys, say what's up? It's me once again coming back at you with another video real quick. As I said, I get my reviews on the Royal Rumble match and Drew McIntyre going to WrestleMania. How excited I am about that. But I'd probably say the just as big, if not bigger, news to come out of yesterday's Royal Rumble or this past Sunday's Royal Rumble is the return of Edge. Edge is back in WWE. He's been gone from the company for 9 years. Doesn't even seem like it. He cut a promo last night saying he's now 46 years old, and to think that he was 37 when he retired. That's still a pretty young age to retire from professional wrestling. To think had Edge would have stayed on from the company, maybe right now about this time he might retire. But he's making a comeback. I thought it was awesome. I definitely thought it was awesome. Growing up for me, I liked Edge, and I loved Edge and his stuff with Christian in the tag team division. And then when Edge broke out to do stuff on his own, I won't say I was the biggest Edge fan. I liked Edge, and I definitely saw him as a necessity for the company and WWE during his tenure. But he was definitely missed. I think I learned to appreciate Edge. I think a little bit more. I learned to appreciate Edge more when he was away, in his retirement. I definitely think he's one of the greatest heels of all time. Definitely one of the greatest like chicken shit heels of all time for sure. And he's definitely a Hall of Famer, Hall of Fame worthy wrestler's done a lot for this business. He's done a lot in WWE. He's accomplished so much. But seeing him come back Sunday at the Rumble, and then hearing his promo on Raw last night, it was really great to see him again. It really was. I guess the thing now for Edge is now that he's back, how long? We don't know. There were some rumors and reports that came out yesterday that Edge had signed a 3-year deal with WWE for like a lot of money. Don't know the legitimacy of that or not. From his promo that he cut Monday, I think Edge is back for one more good run. I don't think he's just here for a Rumble to WrestleMania run. I think Edge might be. I think Edge might be in this. I don't want to say for the long term, but definitely longer than a Mania run. That's for damn sure. I definitely see like a future world title shot, and maybe even another run as being the champion. In Edge's comeback here, definitely. Um, he's gonna start a program with Randy Orton. Last night I thought was one of the best closing segments of Raw. One of the best emotional segments as well to Raw in quite some time. I would probably say maybe since when Dean Ambrose turned on Seth Rollins the night they won the tag titles, and Roman Reigns came out to say that he was stepping away because his leukemia had come back. So I'd probably say since then, and that was like about almost like a year ago that happened. So Randy Orton comes out, congratulates Edge for coming back, saying, "Hey, how about we get the old band back together?" Rated RKO one more time. Fans pop for it. They loved it. Then Orton RKO's him on a square middle of the ring, gives him RKO, teases, then takes a chair and wedges Edge's head and neck in between the folding chairs, and he attempts to step on the chair from the top rope and break Edge's neck again. And you can tell the fans were they were in awe. WWE had them hooked, line, and centered. It was great. For as many crappy things we can say about WWE, and even I have, WWE has its moments where, like, for 1,000 things they can do wrong currently, because they weren't always like that, but for 100 things they can do wrong, they can always find some way, that one moment, that one time, to get you. And for those of us, we knew it was an angle or whatever, but for the people in attendance and the camera, the people that the camera was panning to, WWE got them and got them good. So anyway, Randy teases this, but he doesn't do it. He walks out the ring. Then he comes back. He throws two chairs in, and he sandwiches Edge's face between both chairs, and he just one whack, and people chanting "You suck." Obviously, after Raw, they did the Edge being carried away on a stretcher into a limousine. So this is definitely a way to write him off TV for a while. This is definitely going to be the match to call for come WrestleMania. Edge versus Randy Orton, which I think is pretty befitting because for months Randy Orton had been touting The Rock to come back to wrestle one more match, third generation versus third generation, which I thought would have been cool. Then when that fell through, he played social media out and was calling out John Cena, telling John Cena, "Hey, come back for one more match at WrestleMania," and that also fell on deaf ears. So Edge is definitely the next best choice for Orton, since he couldn't get Rock and Cena. Edge is perfect. Orton's the first opponent back for Edge to take care of. It really reminds me of like kind of like how Shawn Michaels and Triple H, their rivalry back in '02 and '03, when Shawn Michaels had that one more match, and then that one more match became two matches, and then three, and then four, and then lo and behold, Michaels had a complete comeback. Another like 5 or 6, 7 year run with the company. But before that, the person he trusted to be in that ring with was his close friend who he trusted in Triple H. So this kind of mirrors that, I feel, for those of us who are old enough, to remember those days of the WWE. This to me mirrors that in a lot of ways, and I think it's gonna be awesome. I think, like I said, I love the closing segment. I love the promo that Edge gave. Edge said that, hey, he wants to end things on his terms, so he got a second neck surgery, and he's been hitting the gym, and he's better now physically than he's ever been. Obviously, you got to figure there's going to be some precautions taken with Edge here or there. I don't think if Edge is back for another run, I don't see Edge coming back, wrestling every week and whatnot. They're gonna probably play it safe for Edge. Edge is gonna probably be saved for like the big pay-per-views. In person, he'll probably make a lot of appearances. Like in person, he might wrestle once in a while on like a Raw or whatever. But I think his key matches and moments that are gonna probably be saved for like the big pay-per-views is when he'll come in and have like an actual wrestling match. And right now, I think that's fine. I think that's incredible. I think that's fine. I think the fact that he uh, has made a comeback at all, 10, nearly 10 years ago from this injury, I think is amazing. I think is one of the greatest comeback stories, and I really accredit this too as well with Daniel Bryan. Even though Shawn Michaels had his scares, and where we thought he was going to be done forever, but he ended up making another comeback. I really think Daniel Bryan and the severity of his injury and what caused his retirement, and to see how he made a comeback 2 or 3 years ago, 2 years ago, I think has really spoken volumes for a lot of wrestlers nowadays. Because I think a lot of wrestlers look at Daniel Bryan's situation and what he went through and the comeback that he was able to make, and they say, "Hey, wait a minute, maybe I might be able to get a run. I might not, be able to do all the crazy shit that I used to do before, but if I could come back to some capacity, let's give this a shot. Let's give this a try." And you can only imagine, technology and medicine and surgery is probably greatly improved now in 2020 compared to in 2011 when Edge was first retired. So the science and like I said, medical technology is probably not probably it absolutely, I'm sure, has been has grown, and it's more it's better now, I would say, in 2020 compared to when Edge originally retired. But so that could also play some play into it as well. I'm just glad Edge is back. If he's back for 3 years, hell yeah, I'll be down for that. Definitely be down for him, having another championship run. First, let have McIntyre have his moment. Then whatever you do after McIntyre, you want to put Edge in the title picture. That'll be fine. But there's so much Edge can do. Edge working with Seth Rollins. There's a story there. If you go back to 4 years ago when Rollins was the top champion in the whole authority angle, and he was threatening John Cena. He was gonna break Edge's neck with the curb stomp. There's a story there you can go back to. Right now we've got Orton and Edge as the next big program going into WrestleMania. You could do Edge and AJ Styles. Hopefully, it seems like he might have suffered a separated shoulder injury. He took the bump the wrong way at the Rumble. But Edge and AJ Styles is a program I'd like to see. Edge and oh god, let's see. Maybe if Jeff Hardy gets his act together and he comes back clean and then throw him on Raw, I wouldn't mind seeing another program between Edge and Jeff Hardy. Um, God, you got to figure they might do something with Edge and Triple H because Triple H always has to have his moment. So you can imagine Triple H coming back to have one match at least by SummerSlam against Edge. So just put that in the books just for the sake of having it. Um, Edge Rock versus Brock Lesnar, that could be a money made program. Granted, I wouldn't want to see that just because of how Brock Lesnar is and how I still think Edge is kind of somewhat fragile, and they probably want to be careful with Edge. But that's another money making program if they want to do down the road. Edge versus Roman Reigns, I think is a money feud. Um, Even Edge versus the Fiend, I think would be a money feud. There's some new guys and some old guys that Edge can play around with in his comeback and some fresh matchups that we can see that we haven't seen before since Edge had retired and now that he's back. That can definitely be made and can be entertaining. So I would definitely say between Edge's comeback and Drew McIntyre winning the Rumble and challenging Lesnar for WrestleMania, um, WWE right now, at least I would say, is definitely must watch TV to see what they do every week. I think I say this even briefly too. Um, Randy Orton. I don't think a lot of people give Randy Orton enough credit. The way Randy Orton played this whole thing out, he was such a good heel in that promo last night against Edge, and the teasing, and then RKOing him, and then hitting him in the back of the chair, and then playing concerto with Edge's head. Orton is such a good heel, and I think a lot of people don't really realize that. I think Orton has pretty much done everything in WWE. He's been there for so long. He's always there. That a lot of people, I think, kind of just Orton is just kind of there, and people just kind of forget a little bit where he's been and what he's done. And I just think Orton is just a fantastic heel. I've always loved Randy Orton. Always been a fan of Randy Orton. And I love Randy Orton because Randy Orton is real. Randy Orton doesn't give a fuck. Randy Orton is a dick. And I personally think it's hilarious. It's fucking hilarious to me how much of a dick Randy Orton can be. And you see that in the way he carries himself in his matches. Not that he's just phoning it in, but you can just tell he's reached a plateau in his career where he's made it. He's chill. He doesn't have to he's not sloppy with his work, but he doesn't have to, go above and beyond. But in the moments when he does go above and beyond and kind of push the envelope a little bit better or push the envelope, Randy Orton is good. And I think Randy Orton is a case where kind of similar to a John Cena, where I don't think it's hit people enough with John Cena just yet, but Randy Orton, I think, is one of those people who's like, when he's here, you don't really enjoy him or pay much attention to him. Once he retires and walks away, a lot of people are going to reminisce and think fondly of Randy Orton and are going to miss Randy Orton and are going to wish he came back. So I say appreciate Randy Orton while we have him now wrestling actively in WWE. So I just want to put that out there. Love Randy. So yeah, really excited. Like I said, just these two matches alone. McIntyre, Brock for the world title. The return of Edge facing Randy Orton. Those are some two solid matches to build WrestleMania around. Definitely it helps out to the rest of the card is filled out and we'll see. But definitely I'm feeling just off these two matches alone coming out of Royal Rumble, it feels like WrestleMania season to me now. There's a little bit of buzz, there's a little bit of hype. You guys let me know what you think about Edge's return. How long do you think it may be? Do you believe the rumors of him being back for 3 years? Who would you like to see him in a program with, going beyond Randy Orton? And would you like to see him have another title run? You got to figure Edge is going to have one more title run for sure in WWE. I want to know your thoughts in the box below. Do yourself a favor, hit that like button, and subscribe. Peace out.